This one you are viewing is the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 Special Edition, and is the largest change that Samsung has made in its folding since the first generation. I don't know if you will be as delighted and excited as me, but this is Samsung's folding that had been waiting for years. It is officially official, and I came to tell you all its qualities, the changes it has with a normal Galaxy's Fold 6, and especially because I think it will be my future personal phone. The only one but I can say on it is that it has arrived in Korea, and we do not know when it will be on the worldwide market, even if it will come, but calm, since I am already trying to get a unit to be able to do a lot of videos because I want you that you can't even imagine. The first of all is highly rare that Samsung provides a unique edition of a folding that came out only 3 months ago. What happens is that this is not a Fold 6 merely with some adjustments. For me, it is a whole new phone, and it simply deserves a lot of penalty. The first important change we find is at the design level, and I do not mean at aesthetic level, that's sure. There are also some modifications, but at the level of dimensions and the experience that this new folding supposes. For me, a Galaxy's Fold 6 is a spectacular phone but has a main problem, or at least in my day use, and that is that the outside screen is extremely narrow, and although it is very good to use some applications with a single hand, write with one hand and things like that, in the day-to-day that narrow format is inconvenient in the day-to-day because applications are not like a traditional phone. However, with the remainder of the folding of other companies, it is the OnePlus Open, the Vivo, the Honor, the new Pixel, all have an exterior screen that is like a typical phone, but when you want open, and you get an 8-inch screen. Well, Samsung has noticed what people were requesting for, and just this Fold 6 Special Edition does this. The exterior screen finally has a classic format. It grows from 6.3 to 6.5 inches, but this is not the important. An iPhone, a Pixel, a Xiaomi, any phone has this format nowadays, which means that this new Galaxy's Fold 6 Special Edition, when you have it closed, you will be able to use it like any normal phone. In addition to this tiny modification that for me is not that small because I think it is what has created me the most illusion, this Fold 6 is slimmer both when we have it open and when we have it closed. To make an idea, the last Fold 6 when it was closed measured 12.1 mm thick. They had already made it thinner. But if we compared it against the new Pixel 9 Pro Fold, against the last Honor Magic V3 was quite a lot more fat, because this new Z Fold 6 Special Edition when it is fold, so it is no longer an issue. And when we open it and grab the phone with its enormous screen, there are only 4.9 mm thick. It is slimmer than the latest Galaxy Tab S10 Plus and S10 Ultra. It is actually a real madness, and it is these changes that really affect the day-to-day. Obviously, the outer screen, I have told you that it has gone from 6.3 inches to 6.5 inches with a format of 21/9. That is a classic format. When we unfold the screen, it grows from 7.6 to 8 inches, and this is wonderful because now the open screen will be even larger to be able to enjoy our videos, our games, or why not, of the multitask. In addition, of course, so you will be able to engage in a way that you did in Fold 6, simply that in a screen size even a little larger. In addition, the hinge issue has been greatly improved since the aluminum part is reinforced, which in theory should be much more resistant, in addition to being able to hold in different positions, even in a more robust way. In theory, it would support more folds, so I would do it a more durable phone over time. And we have also noticed that the screen fold has been improved. Thus, in overall, the experience of this new Fold 6 Special Edition has increased in each of the characteristics. By the way, we continue to have the protection against water and against dust, wireless load, the USB Type-C, the double stereo speaker, even the reverse load, so extremely intriguing details. But another aspect that was questioned of folding like Fold 6 were its cameras. It is not that they were poor, but they did not have the finest cameras experience as it happens in an Ultra S24, because they have rectified the problem again. First of all, and here a major acclaim aside from Samsung, the 200 megapixels of the Galaxy S24 Ultra have mounted him. Finally, if I buy a phone that costs 2,000 euros, I want the best camera in the market, or at least the best camera the brand is capable of producing. So here Samsung has done it. We will have the same experience with the main camera as in the Ultra S24, which is incredibly positive, both in photo and video. Then we have an ultra-granular camera of 12 megapixels and a 10 megapixel teleobjective camera, which is a 3x optical zoom. Yes, they have not mounted that new 50 megapixel camera, the 5x optical zoom. This is unique and exclusive to Ultra phones, but at least we already have a far more versatile camera. In addition, with those 200 megapixels, we can make a cut, and with the artificial intelligence that has all the capabilities of One UI 6.1.1, we will have an experience of cameras, but extremely better with respect to the classic Galaxy's Fold 6. By the way, the inside the screen, the 8-inch is no longer invisible, and is now a hole on the screen, and although the quality is more or less the same, in theory it should be much higher since it is not under the screen and does not have those flare effect problems, which is called as if there are lights and others. So I think is a nice development, and that there is not much too much that there is a small little hole on a gigantic 8-inch screen with a very small frames. Then in terms of screens and processor, I have told you that the sizes and changing formats change, but in terms of screens quality and others, they are precisely the same. And as for processing, the same third generation Snapdragon 8 that had the Ultra S24 or the Z Fold 6 that is for Galaxy. The only positive thing is that they have uploaded to 16 gigs of RAM good. And then we have only a version with 512 gigs of internal memory. They have abolished the E256. For the time they have not taken it with 1 TB. But hey, I think that 16 and 512 is a decent enough configuration to use it for years even. The only thing that is true is that having made the phone a little slimmer and lighter, as they have dropped from 239 grams to 236 grams, the battery is kept in the same 4,400 milliamps. I do not know exactly how it is going to behave on a day-to-day, because now the screens are a little larger, so maybe the battery is not its strong point. But we will have to wait to experience it, because possibly they have optimized the battery life with the screens, with the operating system, and at least for a normal day is fairly well. We continue to have the quick charge, to call it in some manner, the wireless load and the reverse load, so here's zero issues. And then in the rest of the phone, because it is exactly the same experience, that is, both connectivity and the operating system are the same as in the Galaxy's Fold 6. It already goes out with One UI 6.1.1, and of course it will update during the next 7 years, and you already know that in January One UI 7 will arrive with Android 15 with a lot of novelties that you have several videos on the channel in case you want to meet them in detail. I don't know the phone, but I personally loved it. It has put my hair on end, and it is exactly what I was asking at a Galaxy's Fold for several years, because it seemed that the rest of the brands did give steps forward and understood what users asked for, but it seems that Samsung was still very much. The only difficulty, and I do say problem because it really is a problem, is that at the present you can only buy in Korea. I feel that Samsung has launched this folding as a test, that is, they want to check if consumers prefer this folding format or continue with their regular format with which they had been coming Z Fold 6, 5, 4 and so on, a phone smaller, etc. I hope, from the heart I hope, that people in Korea buy it as if it were hot bread, and Samsung recognizes that this is what people want and take it to the foreign market. Or if it hurries me that there are two versions, the Galaxy Z Normal Fold and the Galaxy Z Fold Ultra. Nothing happens, charge it a little more if you want, but let me choose me what is the phone I want, because since I am spending 2,000 euros on a phone, because I want an improved design, a more resistant hinge, normal screens, a higher quality cameras, and it is precisely what this special edition version has done. On the pricing issue, the reality, they have done well because they have maintained the same price as in the normal Galaxy's Fold 6, enhancing the design, cameras, displays, hinge and others, so hey, super positive. And the only thing I tell you is that we don't know if he's going out to Korea. In principle, it is stated that it will soon arrive in China, and once it arrives in China, it may also reach the global market. We do not know, you have to wait, so calm, because in the next few days I will attempt to get it to produce film and tell you my experience. So now I want to read the comments here. What opinion do you think about this new Z Fold 6 Special Edition, and whether you plan to buy it, because I personally enjoyed it.